Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's John. Today I'm going to tell you a tale of 3 news stories from the UK. One about an airport build request. The second one about the Birmingham bin crisis. And the third discussing the UK's hiring policies. So stick with me and I'll cover the 3 stories, and I'd love to know what you think of these 3 tales down in the comments below. So let's kick this off. Last week, 20 mainly Labour MPs wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of Pakistan requesting that Pakistan builds an airport on behalf of the Pakistani people in order to make international travel easier for the residents of Pakistan. Now, the question that I have here is, why does it take 20 MPs from the UK to drive this topic home? And I'm going to show the letter on screen here, and you'll see some of the names that are attached to this campaign.
On 28th of March, I shared on social media the work I and colleagues across the 2 houses have been doing to urge the government of Pakistan to build an international airport at Mirpur. This is an important issue for over 1 million British Kashmiris who overwhelmingly come from there and face delay and danger whilst travelling from Islamabad to Mirpur.
And the reason I ask this is that if you're paying attention to what's happening in the UK right now, our bills are going through the roof. Council tax, fuel, energy costs, road tax charges, all of it is going up in costs. And a top priority for 20 MPs is to campaign on behalf of an airport in Pakistan. Now, the reason I mention that is because it feeds nicely into story number 2, which is about the Birmingham bin crisis. What do I mean by that? Well, for over 5 weeks now, Birmingham Council has been involved in a strike with its refuse collectors, its bin men. They have refused over a pay dispute to collect the bins in Birmingham. Some areas haven't had their rubbish collected since before Christmas, and it looks like this.
Hello and welcome to Tahir Ali's constituency, an MP famous for calling for blasphemy laws in Britain, saying Rishi Sunak had blood on his hands over Gaza, and more recently demanding the construction of an international airport in Mirpur, Pakistan. Should we have a look around?
Should be here. Look at the crisis. Look at the problem.
Birmingham's bin workers are on strike after the council planned to cut jobs, leaving around 150 workers £8,000 worse off. Now, England's second largest city is facing bin mountains piling up on the streets.
If everyone says just one bag, how much is going to be there? Tell me.
If ever there's like a symbol of how this is a failed society, yeah?
Look at the people living there and they don't give a shit, just throw it and leave it.
It's hard to believe that Birmingham is considered the second major city of the UK behind London. It is currently looking not even third world. Third world would be a compliment. But weeks of refuge piled up outside people's doors, piled outside restaurants. There has been talk of rats the size of cats and dogs running around school areas where children are having their break from their education. And the reason that I bring this topic up is that one of the MPs who attached his name to the airport letter also oversees Birmingham. In fact, Birmingham itself is a Labour-run council. The head of Birmingham Council is currently on a salary of £250,000 a year, which is around £60,000 higher than the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom right now, Keir Starmer. And what blows my mind is that Keir Starmer is not willing to interject in this conversation and take control of it. But many of his MPs are busy campaigning for an airport in Pakistan while their own constituents, their own voters in their own areas look third world. What is happening here that MPs feel the need to champion international campaigns before they worry about their own areas? It really is shocking to me that people are living like this. And remember, Birmingham Council is bankrupt. it's had to increase its council tax by upwards of 10% this year, despite Labour's promise being not a penny more on your council tax.
Not a penny more on your council tax. Not a penny more than the bill you paid last year.
Now, of course, this has been going on for many years before Labour came into power, but it's Labour that's in power now. The Conservatives were no better. I'm not championing either party. I'm merely highlighting what a disgrace and how far the UK is falling at this point. Let's move that on to story number 3. Now, this is an interesting one because it kind of does affect me. A 47-year-old British white male. Puts me in the camp of male, stale and pale.
All the arts, male, pale and stale.
Stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale and too stale.
And I was just wondering how you expect young men and women from all different cultures to relate to such a male, pale and stale party.
Yeah, there's a phrase that I often use which is male, pale and stale, and I think that very much sums up the people that govern English football.
And that little catchphrase, which has kind of done the rounds, has started to turn into recruitment policy simply because in 2023, Amanda Blanc is the CEO of Aviva Insurance, based in the UK. During an interview, she stated that she would review all major hiring policies within Aviva and any recruitment of anybody not from a minority would need to be passed by her.
There is no non-diverse hire at Aviva without it being signed off by me and the Chief People Officer.
Just to make sure that all minorities were being looked after, anybody that fitted the bill of male, pale and stale would have to be signed off by her. Now, I'm no HR employee or specialist, but that seems a little discriminatory to me. I could be wrong on this, but it certainly seems that way, and it brings us to the latest story, the one that I'm tying this up to, which is about West Yorkshire Police. And that's that West Yorkshire Police have taken out an advertising campaign to recruit new police officers to the force. But in doing so, they have clearly stated that white applicants need not apply. And what they've effectively done is create a scoring system to make sure that minorities are tagged with a gold or silver labelling, whereas white candidates would be deprioritised or classed as bronze.
People are given a certain ranking, i.e. Black and Far East Asian candidates are gold, followed by Southeast Asian who are silver, and white others include British, Eastern European and Irish. How fair is that?
Yeah, so I don't know the details, as I've said. I don't know the details of individual forces recruitment.
But broadly speaking, would you be supportive of that, Home Secretary?
Well, the arrangements have to be about getting the best possible candidates for the job, and that's always got to be the case. And as I understand it, this has all been looked at by Her Majesty's Inspectorate to ensure that that is the case.
So, effectively creating a tiered system for recruitment in West Yorkshire Police. Now, I've talked about this topic to friends of mine, particularly people who are international, and they'll say to me, John, this just can't be happening. This is the United Kingdom. That sounds like racism. That sounds like a hiring policy against most of its population. And I often try and cite examples of this happening to try and prove the point that this really is a reality of the UK. And here I am, I'm covering it in a video. Here's the receipts. Here's the commentary that's attached to this. And I just ask you, how did we get to this? How did we get to a place where advertising like this is seen as positive discrimination? That's how this is tagged. An anti-white hiring policy is tagged as positive discrimination. I mean, I know it's the old saying, right? But can't you just hire the best people for the job?
запаковали в наручники, короче.
Get the best candidates that come in looking for a role in the police. The police already has enough of a challenge on its hands, being seen as two-tier, being seen as soft on crime. To be adding to its viewpoint of also being a racist recruiting policy. I don't know, I despair. Anyway, it's nice being out of the country, looking back at some of the news stories like this and just thinking, we're making the right decision to want to leave the UK? Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this story today. It's probably a bit divisive to talk about some of these topics, but if we don't say it, we don't discuss it, it just gets brushed under the carpet. Much like many of the stories in our press right now, 3 tales from the UK, and there's plenty more that I could cover that would be eye-opening, especially if you live outside of the United Kingdom. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this. We'll be back with another video tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.